Welcome to the Murray State University Library's tutorial on using the MeSH vocabulary for searching Medline. MeSH is the National Library of Medicine's Controlled Vocabulary Thesaurus. It stands for Medical Subject Headings. MeSH gives uniformity and consistency to the biomedical literature and allows searchers to retrieve relevant articles even when authors have used different words or spellings to describe the same topic. For example, the MeSH term citric acid cycle covers all of the variations for the term Krebs cycle, so you don't have to type them all into your search. Medline is available through EBSCOhost and Web of Knowledge at the Murray State University's libraries. Let's start at the University Library's homepage. If you click on Research Guides and Tools, then you can go down to N through R and find one of the health LibGuides, nursing, or any of the other LibGuides that have Medline in them. Let's start at the University Library's homepage. If you click on Research Guides and Tools, you can then click on N through R and choose the Nursing LibGuide. Any of the health-related LibGuides will have a link to Medline. Up at the top, you'll see a tab called Finding Articles, and you can click on that, and then scroll down until you see the link for Medline, and choose that. If you haven't already, you can log into the library using your network login, and then you'll go to the Medline's homepage, and we are at EBSCOhost Medline. Let's say we want to do a search on the economics of digital mammography and breast cancer. There are several ways to do this using MeSH. If you notice above the search boxes, you'll see a box that says Suggest Subject Terms. You could do that and do a keyword search. Or you could go directly to MeSH 2015, and when you click on this, it'll open up the MeSH browser. We'll start out looking for the MeSH term for breast cancer. When we search breast cancer into the search box, it says use breast neoplasms, and it's the first one in the list. So when we choose that and click in the box, it opens up a list of subheadings. This list of subheadings will vary depending on the subject heading that you've chosen, but this one does have a subheading of economics. So if we click on that, it will give us the search term breast neoplasms /EC. It will also give you a choice of whether to explode that search term, which means you'll search the narrower terms in the MeSH tree, or whether you want to make it a major concept. Let's leave it as it is and click Search Database. And this is how it puts it into the EBSCOhost search box. And it gives us 1,300 articles, which would be a lot to scan through. So we want to add another concept to narrow it. So we'll add digital mammography and click search again. And that gives us 11 articles. If we did a search and we had too many articles, we could still choose to search it as a major. We could still choose, if we did a search and retrieved too many articles, we could still choose to search it as a major subject heading by changing the H to an M and rerunning our search. And that gives us 6 articles. Another technique to use MeSH headings is called pearl growing. And this, you don't go directly to the MeSH vocabulary, but you do a search. So let's rerun our search and pretend that we don't know what the subject heading is for our topics. And we'll do a keyword search. We'll leave this select a field option as a keyword. We'll put quotation marks around the phrase so it will search it as a phrase, and then we'll search. And then we get 184,000 articles, which is definitely too many to scan through. But you can look through and see an article that looks like that it's relevant, and click on the title and then scan down till you see the MeSH terms, and then you can find the subject heading for your term and click on it, and then it will put it in the box for you. And we still want to search economics as a subheading. So we'll put EC/EC and then close our quotation marks and run our search again. And that takes us down to 600. And then add another concept of digital mammography and rerun our search. And we're back to 6. So when would you use a MeSH search? You can use MeSH when your basic search results are too large and not focused on your main concepts. MeSH helps when there's a large amount of literature published on your topic, and then sometimes you may need to disambiguate a search word or phrase. Searching the word AIDS retrieves articles on the AIDS virus, but it also retrieves articles on hearing aids, audiovisual aids, clinical aids, teaching aids. But using the MeSH term for AIDS, which is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, will limit your retrieval to the relevant subject. Consider using MeSH subheadings if you need to focus on a specific aspect of a topic, such as diagnosis or treatment or economics. There are also times when you may not want to use MeSH. If your topic is new or an emerging concept, there may not be a MeSH term available yet. Or if you suspect there's not been very much published on your topic, there may not be a MeSH term yet. Also, if you want to retrieve recently published articles, the newest articles in Medline may not yet be indexed for Medline. There's a lag time of a few days to a few weeks between when citations enter Medline and when they have MeSH terms. In these cases, you can just use basic keywords, like we did with digital mammography. So that's a brief synopsis of how to use MeSH terms in Medline. If you need more So that's a brief overview of how to use MeSH terms in Medline. If you need more assistance, please call the information desk at 270-809-2053, or you can email us or text us from the icons on the library's homepage. Thank you.